This is problem 11A. Renee is going bowling. The cost per game is $2.50. Renee will need to rent a pair of bowling shoes for $1.50. She can spend up to $16 to bowl and rent a pair of shoes. What is the maximum number of games that Renee can bowl? And if you've never been bowling, the way it works, you only rent a pair of shoes once, and you can bowl as many games as you want. So this thing right here, the bowling shoes, that's a one-time cost. This $2.50 per game is where you're going to spend most of your money. We're going to set up our problem. This per game, we don't know how many games she's going to bowl, but we can use variables to help us figure that out. It's $2.50 times the number of games she's going to bowl. We don't know what that number is going to be. I'm just going to call it G for games. Plus, remember, she has to rent her shoes, and that's just a one-time cost. It's only going to cost her $1.50 no matter how many games she bowls. She's going to pay for the shoes, she's going to put them on, and she's just going to bowl until she is all bowled out. And finally, we're looking for the maximum number of games that Renee can bowl, and if you think about it, it's involving money as well. She only has $16, so whatever she spends has to be less than or equal to $16. It wouldn't be good if she tried to spend more than $16, got to the register and couldn't afford it. She'd be very embarrassed. So, first thing we're going to do, we want to get this number with the G by itself, which means we have to move our friend 150 away. I'm going to draw my line down here. If I have a positive $1.50, the way that I'm going to move it is to make it negative. So minus 1.50. And whatever I do on the left-hand side of this inequality sign, I also have to do on the right-hand side. So if I subtracted 150 on the left, I need to subtract 150 on the right. I'm going to do my math, and you might want to use a calculator. I know that these two things are going to cancel out, leaving me with 250 G is less than or equal to 16 minus 150 is going to give me 1450. Now I want to get G by itself, because remember, G is going to tell me the number of games. So I'm going to use division because 250 is currently being multiplied by G, and I want to do the opposite. So I'm going to divide by 250 on the left. Whatever I do on the left, I got to do on the right. Now with my sign, since I'm dividing by a positive number, nothing's going to change. My sign will stay the same. 250 divided by 250 cancels out. I'm left with just the G. Less than or equal to 1450 divided by 250 is 5.8. Huh. 5.8 is not an answer choice. Well, remember, we're talking about the maximum number of games. You can't bowl a fractional amount or a decimal amount of games. You have to bowl a solid number of games. 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games. And this is saying that G is less than or equal to 5.8. So I can get rid of 6 because that's more than 5.8, and I can get rid of 9 because that's also more than 5.8. And we want the maximum, the most number of games that is less than or equal to 5.8. That's going to be 5. 5 is the closest. She doesn't have enough money to bowl game number 6. She can only bowl 5.8, which means she can only bowl 5. And that means she's going to have a little bit of money left over to either take home or maybe buy a candy bar or something.